live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN television news. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
I want to be free as can be.
They say that freedom is the ability to fully experience life. The GUT Credit Union is giving you the freedom to choose. Get a loan for any purpose, whether it's consolidating your debt, buying a vehicle, owning your home, back to school, or a dream vacation. We offer competitive rates with terms and payments that fit your lifestyle. Call 440-1354. Email loans@gutcu.com or visit go.gutcu.com/freedom to start enjoying your life, your money, your way. Promotion ends September 30th, 2022. Special conditions apply. More freedom, more choices. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
This is Network News for Tuesday, September 27, 2022. In the headlines, former Attorney General suggests the DPP pursue Alexander Clark's release at the level of the Privy Council. Director of Public Prosecution says the documents for Oscar Bartholomew's case are safe. Attorney General says faith organization is responsible for paying its employees, not government. And around the globe regionally, St. Lucia's Education Minister stands by school closure decision. Internationally, Bank of England monitors markets very closely after the pound plunges. Plus, in the sports news, Barbados Royals secure first spot in Hero CPL Final. Stay with us. We'll be back.
The first segment of the news comes to you compliments Soft Weave Bathroom Tissue.
Have you heard about the new Soft Weave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Soft Weave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue, available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Soft Weave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
From Television Center of the Grenada Broadcasting Network, I'm Kenroy, Baptiste. The onus is on the Director of Public Prosecutions to determine what course of action will or will not be taken following the freeing of convicted murderer Alexander Clark last week. Cherry and Blackman Stephen has this report.
Former Attorney General Dashan Ramdani is suggesting that the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions pursue the release of convicted murderer Alexander Clark in the Privy Council, Grenada's final court of appeal. The then 32-year-old husband, Clark led police to a shallow grave in Montmorris, St. George, where the body of his then 27-year-old wife, Nixian Downs Clark, was found in a suitcase. Clark was found guilty of non-capital murder in 2014 and sentenced to 67.5 years in prison. However, after serving 8 years in jail, he walked free last Tuesday on the order of the Court of Appeal due to the loss of transcript within the Supreme Court. Clark is believed to have already left Grenada for England. Ramdani believes that the loss of transcript is insufficient to dismiss an appeal that sets Clark free.
The absence of a summing up, the absence of transcript is no reason in Grenada law for an appeal not to be heard. And let me make this point. This appeal was not heard. The Court of Appeal did not hear this appeal, but considered that the missing transcript meant they could not hear it. I do believe that the Office of the DPP ought to consider filing an appeal in this matter. This man has not been set free from the conviction. The conviction is still standing.
During Tuesday's post-cabinet briefing, Attorney General and Minister for Legal Affairs, Claudette Joseph, said the next course of action, if any, lies with the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions.
While there is a right of appeal in this case, there will be a right of appeal to the Privy Council. It is for the DPP to determine in his own deliberate judgment whether there is sufficient grounds or there are sufficient grounds on which this matter may be appealed to the Privy Council.
The gruesome killing of Nixie and Downs Clark happened on the couple's 4th wedding anniversary, when Mrs. Clark allegedly found out that her husband was having an affair with their teenage babysitter. The then 17-year-old student was subsequently used by the prosecution as a key witness, and no charges were brought against her. This is an act that attorney Anselm Clouden says he still can't understand.
The first person he called was his mistress from Monkmorris, and she came down and actively participated in the removal, packaging of the body in the suitcase. They drove all around trying to find a suitable resting place. Eventually, they ended up in Monkmorris on her family's plot.
Ramdani explains the possible reasons no charge was brought against the teenage accomplice, as the prosecution team ensured there was a conviction.
The prosecution would have had, I believe, to make a decision that either to get an airtight case against him and to have an independent person speak to what he did subsequently, and that would have led to a jury not being at all uncertain as to what happened. So yes, she is to be blamed. She committed a crime of assisting a murderer dispose of a body. But the killing in this case was done by this accused person.
To the family of Nixie and Downs Clark, Minister Joseph extended an apology.
We expressed sorrow that the judicial system did not work sufficiently for you.
Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
Well, the government of Grenada has already put some measures in place to secure and improve the judicial system in Grenada. Some of these changes come on the heels of convicted murderer Alexander Clark's release. More on this Renaped Thomas report.
Last Tuesday, the entire country was in an uproar with the release of Alexander Clark, a British man who murdered his wife in 2014 and was serving 67.5 years at His Majesty's prison. Clark appealed his case and was immediately released due to a missing transcript from a lost computer. This opened a can of worms on the present state of the court system in Grenada and the condition it has been operating with over the years. Government has now given the green light to Grenada's Attorney General, Claudette Joseph, to feverishly start the process of making some much-needed and significant changes to the judicial system.
We have taken steps to secure the very fragile information and documents housed at the vault of the Supreme Court Registry. Those are going to be relocated to a more suitable and conducive location. We have been mandated to secure better equipment, and we will be looking for the best available on the market, and also to train staff who can be equipped to certify, not just to produce, but to produce and certify the transcript in the shortest possible time.
The Sir Archibald Law Library will also be relocated and reopened to the public. Minister Joseph says that they will also be reopening and relocating a mediation center and the court reporting unit at the Supreme Court Registry to the ground floor of the Clico building. She said the court reporting unit is an area they will be paying key attention to.
Cabinet has given the full support to the registrar and me to work to properly staff that unit and to take care of the backlog that we now have in the preparation of transcripts. And we are going to be working feverishly at this so that when next the Court of Appeal sits in Grenada, all of the matters will have the transcripts prepared.
The Minister for Labour says that they have also taken steps to enhance the physical space in which the staff operates. She outlined other improvements made in the legal system.
So we have beefed up security. We have also begun strengthening the human resource capacity of the system. We've hired some new staff and we are in the process of filling some vacancies that still exist in the judicial system. And as part of the broader government policy, we are putting systems in place to ensure that those unestablished, temporary and long-standing contract workers in the legal system are regularized.
The Attorney General was speaking at Tuesday's post-cabinet briefing. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett-Thomas reporting.
Now, relative to allegations that a computer from the Supreme Court registry that contained Alexander Clark's transcript was stolen, Attorney General and Minister for Legal Affairs Claudette Joseph confirmed on Tuesday that a computer is indeed missing.
From all indications, the computer on which the recording would have been typed also, that is what cannot be found at this time. So it seems as though there is a computer indeed that cannot be found. And that will contain the critical parts of the proceedings that could have been filled in, the gaps that could have been filled in.
The minister's statement is far in contrast to a statement made by Director of Public Prosecutions, Christopher Nelson.
I don't think the information that went out is accurate. I don't want to comment too much. There's talk about missing computer. I'm not sure that's entirely correct. I think the registrar of the court can verify what the situation is. But so far as I understand, it's not a case of missing computer.
Other news, the first witness took to the stand today as the criminal trial began in Oscar Bartholomew's murder case. Christina John continues to follow that story.
Director of Public Prosecution Christopher Nelson, KC, says the issue of missing evidence will not happen in the Oscar Bartholomew criminal trial, as did in the case of Alexander Clark.
Those issues will not arise in this matter. The records in this matter are purely paper, and they're all accounted for. So we have no issue in this case.
Criminal trial commenced Tuesday for Edward Gibson, Sean Gannis, Roddy Felix and Wendell Sylvester, who were charged with non-capital murder in the 2011 death of Oscar Bartholomew. Witnesses began taking the stand Tuesday in what is expected to be a somewhat lengthy procedure, as there are over 25 witnesses to give evidence. DPP Nelson, KC, says the jury was empaneled on Monday, therefore they can now proceed.
The awaited trial has started. The jury was empaneled today. It's potentially a long trial. We have at least 25 witnesses listed on the indictment. So this will take a few weeks.
11 years have already elapsed since the incident with Bartholomew occurred. The DPP was probed on the impact this can have on a matter of such nature.
The passage of time always affects the case. Cases depend on witness recollection and memory, but I think that the nature of this case is such that those who witness the critical events will not easily forget. And of course, there is the opportunity to refresh one's memory from statements given way back in 2011, 2012. So there are some difficulties, but notwithstanding that, we have had trials in the past where much time has passed.
Among the 25 witnesses to take the stand are retired police officers and civilians. Christina John, GBN News.
This is Network News. Coming up, Attorney General says faith organization is responsible for paying its employees, not the government.
Building or renovating your home or business? Why not use clean, renewable energy? Install solar panels to power your home and office and see your energy costs go down and your savings go up. Using renewable solar-powered energy protects our environment, reduces our carbon footprint, and slows the devastating impact of climate change. Republic Bank can help to finance construction and renovations that make use of renewable energy. Visit any Republic Bank branch and ask about renewable energy financing options today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Do you know you can lower your electricity bill by creating an energy-efficient home? When planning to build or remodel, plan for your energy needs and utilize building techniques and products that promote energy efficiency. Incorporate renewable energy and maximize the use of natural lighting, heating, and ventilation sources. You should also buy 230-volt equipment as these run more efficiently and can help lower your electricity usage. As an individual consumer, I cannot impact global fuel prices. However, I can ease the burden of rising fuel rates by creating an energy-efficient home. What can you do?
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Spare your pocket, spare the earth, always at
Sunday, October 2nd from 5 p.m. at the National Stadium. Get ready for Mega Force Promotions. Cars and Cash Mega Bingo.
Cars and Cash Mega Bingo.
Hear this. You can win not one, not two, not even three, but 4 cars. Wow. That's not all. You also get a chance to win $25,000 in cash.
What? Are you serious?
Yes, I'm dead serious. 4 cars plus $25K cash in one massive event. Tickets are $60 for one or $100 for two. Sunday, October 2nd, we're heading to the National Stadium for Mega Force Promotions. Cars and Cash Mega Bingo. This will be the event of the century, and it's that.
It's better together, tastes amazing. This crazy combo make you want to get it. Cookie made the chocolate, can't live without it. 100% goodness, me want Devon chocolate digestive. Rich chocolate with cookie crunchness.
Cookie beats chocolate in Devon Chocolate Digestive. Better because it's both.
Of Ariza Credit Union, the best credit union in the whole wide world. Being a member of Ariza, I have achieved so much. With Ariza, I got my fridge, my stove, my TV, and my washing machine on easy and accessible terms. Also, I was afforded the opportunity of a loan to travel to seek medical attention, and with that, I am one healthy woman today. Ariza, congratulations, 75 years of transforming lives.
I'm a winner, you are winner, we are winners, winners.
Be an instant winner today with the NLA by simply purchasing your Daily Pick 3 and Playway tickets at your nearest agent or NLA outlet. As a proud sponsor of the CPL cricket coverage, the NLA continues to support the development of sports, culture, and nation building in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. The NLA, making your dreams a reality.
I'm a winner,
You are winners. We are winners.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Building or renovating your home or business? Why not use clean, renewable energy? Install solar panels to power your home and office and see your energy costs go down and your savings go up. Using renewable solar-powered energy protects our environment, reduces our carbon footprint, and slows the devastating impact of climate change. Republic Bank can help to finance construction and renovations that make use of renewable energy. Visit any Republic Bank branch and ask about renewable energy financing options today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
We're back. Government officials says the NDC administration will not be paying any workers employed by Faith Development Organization. Rena Perry-Thomas has that story.
Faith has to pay. That's according to Grenada's Attorney General and Minister for Labour, Claudette Joseph. Minister Joseph, who was responding to a question about the 2 monthly salaries owed to workers under the Faith Development Organization, says that government is not responsible for paying those workers.
In relation to who pays the workers of Faith, Faith is responsible for paying their staff. None of the persons engaged by Faith were engaged by the government of Grenada, nor did the government of Grenada commit in any form to paying staff of Faith. So they are fully responsible for paying their staff, and they know that. And from what we've seen so far, they are more than able to do so, considering the millions they got from our treasury in a very short space of time.
Faith Development Organization was contracted by the NMP administration to manage the school's COVID-19 sanitizing. The Attorney General claims that these companies have cheated the government of lots of money. The minister explains that the contract between Faith and the government of Grenada has since been officially terminated.
We have recently communicated with the directors of that company, giving our initial position and formally ending any contractual arrangement that existed between Faith and the government of Grenada, because based on all that we've seen so far, we do not believe that government was getting value for money in relation to the alleged services provided by that company.
Minister Joseph says an extensive investigation is ongoing into the contractual agreement and several questionable business transactions made between the organization and the previous government.
The sum, an exorbitant sum, has been paid by the government so far to Faith, and we are not able as yet to determine the services that were provided to the people of Grenada. So the investigation is ongoing, and I guarantee you we will not leave any stones unturned, especially since it appears in this case there was some gross misallocation of the people's money.
For GBN News, I am Rena Perry-Thomas reporting.
This story: when a government borrows money from foreign and domestic creditors, it is contractually obliged to pay the interest on such loans. If a payment is missed, this is described as a default. Defaults happen when governments are not able to or do not want to meet some or all of their debt payments to creditors. The International Monetary Fund describes default as a broken promise or breach of contract. Minister for Foreign Affairs Joseph Andal said this is the present situation of Grenada, as the country is listed in the international financial system as selected default for unpaid debt. Grenada is still in debt to Algeria for the construction of the island's international airport in the 1970s.
Prime Minister Mitchell and I met with the Foreign Minister of Algeria to address a long-standing debt issue going all the way back to the 1970s. And while the matter has not yet been resolved, initial steps were taken to put in place a mechanism for settling that outstanding debt. The implication for Grenada is that because that debt has not been serviced over the years for various reasons, Grenada is listed in the international financial system as being in selective default, which makes it difficult to access concessionary financing.
Minister Andel said himself and Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell had to address another debt issue with neighboring Trinidad and Tobago.
It was a one-on-one between the Foreign Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Amory Brown, and myself, to address another outstanding debt issue. It's a debt totaling in the region of $80 million EC dollars, contracted in 2005 following Ivan and in 2013. So we have already begun the process of addressing that issue.
The discussions were held during the Ministers' 77th United Nations General Assembly last week. Well, in the absence of a public library, people can now access reading material from litter-free libraries at 3 locations in St. George. This was made possible by the Rotaract Club of Grenada. More in this Christina John report.
Take one book, leave one book. The message spread by the Rotaract Club of Grenada as they embark on a project that encourages people to read more. On Monday saw the unveiling of the club's litter-free library at 3 locations in St. George, the play area in Tantine, Camahan Park, and Quarantine Point. It forms part of their Hooked on the Books project, which coincides with Rotary's main area of focus for the first quarter, which spans the months of June to September. Simone Sargent, Community Service Director for the Rotaract Club of Grenada 2022 to 2023, tells us more.
General concept is that you take a book and you leave a book, or you borrow a book and you read it right in the area it is stationed. The objective of this project is to engage various persons in the community, particularly the youths and children in reading and literacy. Hooked on Books project has 3 phases actually. The first one being our book drive, which was held previously from the 23rd of July to the 14th of September. The second being our litter-free libraries, the erection of our litter-free libraries, which is happening today. The unveiling is happening today. And the third being installation of a library at our adopted school, which is the Mount Morris Anglican Primary School.
Just this past week, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Finley Jeffrey, stated government's intent to the National Library, which has been closed off since 2011.
Have set in motion, really, the digitization of those records, especially those critical national records at the public library. A contract will be issued very, very soon. I think the evaluation has already taken place, and so once that contract is issued, we have looked at space for the contractors to work, and we foresee that in the not too distant future, all those important records of the public library will be digitized and will be available in an electronic form for the public's consumption. And
Sargent says this will serve as a source of reading material in the interim.
The thing is, a lot of reading material is not really available right now. Our National Library is not really open. It has been down for a while. So having these litter-free libraries here makes it reading materials available to the general public, so that whenever they feel to have something to read, they can always come here and check out our litter-free libraries.
Christina John, GBN News.
Thank you very much for that initiative. Well, 11 years and counting. Grenadians turned their attention to the criminal trial for the death of Grenadian-born Canadian citizen Oscar Bartholomew. The matter is creating a buzz on social media.
We present the news. You analyze the various topics and distill the issues as they unfold. Your distillation points matter as we're about to highlight them in our Social Buzz report.
GBN Social Buzz is reaching beyond the local platform to share with you what's trending on social. A jury panel was selected on Monday, which marks the start of the criminal trial of the 5 police officers charged with the death of Oscar Bartholomew. The trial began at the High Court located at the National Stadium.
25 witnesses are expected to present their testimonies, with the first taking the stand on Tuesday. Back in June 2021, $1 million EC was awarded in damages to the family of Grenadian-born Canadian citizen Oscar Bartholomew.
Social media users took to the comment section to share their thoughts about this latest development. The following views are that of the public and not of the Grenada Broadcasting Network. Burnett said, "I wonder if the witnesses remember the story. It's been so long." Chris added, 11 years and his family still ain't got justice. What a shame. This person said, "I guess that the Canadians are not going to give up so easy. And the sad thing is, the officer was not in uniform." Abby said, "Water came from my eyes when I heard they beat him so bad he went into a coma. Oh my God, why? It really hurts bad after all these years. We are all Grenadians. Now you are in prison. I know you all regret it. Just hope nothing goes missing though. I felt it for the 5, but it's not easy to lose someone like that." Chanel said, "Oscar's mom passed away heartbroken. So sad. Our justice system is so slow. It's a shame." Kester added, "The justice system failed humanity when only special people are allowed with privilege of wickedness." Ronnie Beth simply said, "This system is a big failure." Crystal added, "Oh, real mama guyism with this case. I hope that nothing from the trial has allegedly gone missing. This would be a shame to corruption." Sally said, "I can't believe that this was still going ahead. I thought it was swept under the table. I hope justice will prevail. Hope that the computer that has the information is not stolen." She added, "This case is now starting. Wow, that was extremely long. Hopefully, justice will be served." That's what's buzzing tonight. We encourage you, our viewers and listeners, to submit your think pieces on trending topics locally, regionally, and internationally via our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Continue to share your thoughts and concerns with us on our social media platforms.
Still ahead from us, former disaster coordinator teaches people how to treat common injuries. We'll talk about that.
To you via Superb Service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
Ooh la la! See what's new at Courts. We've got great deals on living and dining room sets, appliances, electronics, and smart devices, and more. Shop today with no cash using Courts Ready Finance. 3 to 48-month payment plans available. Shop in store or online at shopcourts.com. Come see what's new and take advantage of these great deals. Only at Courts. Bringing value home. Conditions apply.
Level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, Because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
I'm a winner, you are winner, we are winners, winners.
Be an instant winner today with the NLA by simply purchasing your Daily Pick 3 and Playway tickets at your nearest agent or NLA outlet. As a proud sponsor of the CPL cricket coverage, the NLA continues to support the development of sports, culture, and nation building in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. The NLA, making your dreams a reality.
I'm a winner, you are winner, we are winners, winners, winners.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
Welcome back. Responding properly to common injuries was the topic of Monday's To The Point program in conjunction with former disaster coordinator Sylvan McIntyre.
The first response to a common injury or incident makes a huge difference to the affected person's recovery.
We will speak up this morning on a few common injuries and things that may happen in the home, on the job, and how people respond to it. I want to set the context that, the response, the appropriate and timely response to any kind of an emergency can determine how the outcome of that will be.
That was the sentiment of former disaster coordinator at the Disaster Management Agency NADMA, Sylvan McIntyre, as he addressed civilians' response to incidents or injuries. First aid is the first and immediate assistance given to any person with either a minor or serious illness or injury, with care provided to preserve life, prevent the condition from worsening, or promote recovery. It includes initial intervention in a serious condition prior to professional medical help being available, such as performing cardiopulmonary resuscitation or CPR while awaiting for an ambulance, as well as the complete treatment of minor conditions, such as applying a plaster to a cut. According to Mr. McIntyre, anyone can render first aid, and knowing how to perform CPR is an asset.
Our health facilities, our health practitioners, they are sometimes overwhelmed with responsibilities at their facilities. And it is critically important that we work with them. They understand what community persons can do, what people in the home could do, and how they can minimize the effect of injuries that they cannot prevent. So the hospital workers, the nurses, the doctors, they are considered to be second aiders. And so anybody can be, could render first aid.
McIntyre gave some examples of common emergencies.
Someone gets a cut with a sharp instrument, which is an incision, or somebody gets a laceration, one of these jagged open wounds that would bleed profusely or otherwise. How do you deal with that? Someone just falling, they may have fainted. People having injuries like chronic, otherwise thing that would come on them. For instance, you may have emergencies like asthma attack, epilepsy, someone getting a mild stroke or otherwise, or even a mild heart attack. There are quite a number of things that you can do. For instance, you're at home and you get a burn. What do you do? Or somebody get a burn.
For GBN News, Beverly Telesford.
One of Grenada's breathtaking natural sights is what's at the end of the GBN ISO lens.
A good eye captures all. GBN ISO is brought to you by Clear Vision.
Life is beautiful if only you can see it. Clear Vision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Clear Vision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
Our GBN eyesore tonight comes from just under the island's highest mountain, Mount St. Catherine, Grenada's only hot and cold sulfuric waterfall. Our eyesore reporter took the 2.5-mile hike, which takes just about an hour and a half, to the Golden Falls. Golden Falls is considered by many to be the most beautiful and interesting waterfall in Grenada, as hikers endure the journey to experience the hot and cold outflow of water. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
Stay with us. We'll be back with the sports news and around the globe.
Fuel your dreams with a communal vehicle loan. It's a huge deal with super awesome rates and discounts. Get the vehicle that's just for you. Enjoy your journey. Make memories. Explore more. We're fueling dreams to your destination. It's a huge deal and it's just for you. Your destination, and we'll take you there. Call or message us on WhatsApp 405-6670 or 405-2248. Let's get you where you have to be with Communal and Friends. This special promotion is in collaboration with The Beacon Insurance, Netherlands Insurance, Greens Automotive, RF Motors, and Specialized Automotive. We're fueling dreams to your destination. Apply today. Lending terms and conditions apply.
WeatherGuard Pro. For every project, there's only one Pro.
Good evening, sporting fans. The first round of the Blue Stars Super Knockout Tournament wraps up tomorrow evening. Top strikers will play Shamrock, the lone encounter, at 7 p.m. inside Power Park. Now for results from over the weekend. Timothy Alexis hit a brace in Game 1 on Sunday to secure Power Park United a 2-0 victory over Just Brands. Later in the evening, Shavin Joseph scored a hat-trick while Ty Joseph found the back of the net once as MIL Guav completed a 4-1 victory over Boogie Ballers. Dylan Fletcher scored the lone goal for Ballers. Closure came away with a default win over U19 on Saturday. All right, this story to report: the Barbados Royals thrashed the Guyana Amazon Warriors earlier today to earn their spot in Friday's final of the 2022 Hero CPL. Batting first, the Royals blasted their way to 195 for 5. Raheem Conwall led the way with a blistering 95 off 54 balls in what was a sixes trilogy.
His 50 of just 39 deliveries, Raheem Cornwall, and once you are set on this pitch, as we've seen before, you can do that. You can play shots like these. Khan in company with him, a difficult opportunity for Junior Sinclair, waited on that slower delivery, and then the spin bowlers, well, they absolutely disappeared. Imran Tahir in that over went for a few lusty blows. None better than that from Azam Khan.
It's the way they place things. 4 overs outside of the power play produced just 19 runs, unimpeding Ramanullah Gurbaz.
Jason Holder struck a mighty one, so did Azam Khan. That was the shot of the match for me because of the height of that delivery. He got to his half century, another one for him. Eventually fell in the final over. Simple catch for Woody Smith. And in the end, they got to a very, very good score, 195.
The Warriors were then rattled over for 108.
Runs they produce before Cornwall intervened. Then Romario Shepherd following suit. Calmer is taking the catch. Dean Smith was looking for that hero maximum. He missed one completely, and Mujib got him. Moti didn't last too long. Jason Holder picked up his wicket. And at that stage, the Warriors looked completely out of it. Hetmeyer attempting a few boundaries, playing well, showing his power on occasions. Then he sliced one to cover Mayers, the catcher.
Light went out of the innings then if it hadn't gone before. Went here, final man to go to Harry Tector, whose awareness was good, and finally Walsh got a wicket, but smiles from Ramon Simmons and thanks to higher powers for an outstanding.
All right, so the second of the eliminators will be played later when St. Lucia Kings take on Jamaica Talawars. Grenada will host the 2022 edition of the Windward Island Super 50 Championship. The tournament bowls off on Thursday with Grenada playing St. Lucia at Progress Park. Roland Cato will captain Team Grenada. The team includes Johan Jeremiah, vice-captain, Samuel Charles, Keon George, Dennis Smith, and Ryan John. We can tell you the rest of the squad reads Daryl Cyrus, Dennis George, Josh Thomas, and Pacer Shaman Lewis. There are three newcomers to the squad at the Windward senior level in batsmen Shondell Regis and Darren Ned, along with fast bowler Nicholas Redhead. That is the sports news for the moment. Minister for Education in St. Lucia, Sean Edward, is standing firm on the decision to keep schools closed on Monday due to inclement weather. Critics were quick to question the move after sunlight began to peer through the dark clouds of the mid-morning thunderstorms. However, the Education Minister insists that the safety of St. Lucia's students comes first. Here's more in this report.
Better safe than sorry. Minister for Education Sean Edward is defending the decision taken by the Ministry of Education to close all schools on Monday, September 26th, due to torrential rains. St. Lucia was battered in the early morning by scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. The bad weather would eventually give way to clear skies, but the forecast was still gloomy for critics who are casting clouds of doubt over the move.
I think the most important thing for us in the Ministry of Education is the safety of students and teachers, and in the face of inclement weather you have to make a very quick assessment of the situation and make a decision. And this morning, given what we were faced with, we felt that we acted correctly in asking students to stay home.
The Education Department, in a widely shared Facebook post around 7:10 a.m. Monday, informed parents, teachers, and students that schools would remain closed due to the bad weather. However, some students were already en route to school.
To reduce the prolonged discrimination and stigma attached to HIV and AIDS, the National AIDS Program Secretariat in Guyana will soon extend its anti-stigma campaign to schools across the nation and work towards revising workplace policies. Details in this HGP TV report.
For years, the stigma and discrimination against persons living with the human immunodeficiency virus, HIV, has been a major barrier to successful HIV prevention, care, and treatment locally. With the emphasis on addressing and eliminating the growing HIV-related stigma and discrimination, the National AIDS Program Secretariat, NAPS, has planned to expand its anti-stigma campaign to schools in Guyana, according to Program Manager of the Secretariat, Dr. Terry Jagnaring.
Our new manual that we would have developed, we're going to take that now to schools, and we're not only teaching evidence-based knowledge about HIV and best practices, we've included social aspects to look at stigma, discrimination, gender-based violence, bullying.
Jagnaring, during a recent interview with this newscast, further explained that the program, which received support from the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, will allow current students and recent graduates of the school system to better understand the stigma related to the virus while addressing the social concerns of society.
The value of the United Kingdom's pound has stabilized somewhat after frantic early trading saw it plunge by nearly 5% against the US dollar on Monday. But the country's central bank has said it will keep a keen eye on financial markets after a day of turmoil for the UK's currency and debt. Markets have been reacting with skepticism since the UK government unveiled a package of tax cuts combined with a substantial increase in public borrowing. Al Jazeera tells us more.
Sterling plunged to near parity with the US dollar early on Monday, the pound dropping by 4.85% to $1.03. That fall on top of a 3.6% drop last Friday. Investors and analysts clearly skeptical of Friday's shock and awe mini-budget by the UK Chancellor Kwasi Kwarteng.
And investors are bulky. There's a lot of indigestion in terms of the amount of debt that will come online. And given that we are, of course, a current account deficit nation, that means that we are reliant on international savers, foreign savers, to really fund that deficit. And if they don't like the fundamentals in the UK that are lined up for them, well, they don't have to fund it. And that's why sterling has been on this downward path.
What spooked investors was Friday's announcement of the UK's biggest tax cuts in 50 years. Cuts that will be funded by $48 billion in extra government borrowing.
Stay with us. We will remind you of the headlines in a moment. Reminder of the headlines if you're just tuning in to the news. Former Attorney General suggests the Director of Public Prosecutions pursue Alexander Clark's release at the level of the Privy Council. Director of Public Prosecutions Christopher Nelson says the documents for Oscar Bartholomew's case are safe. Attorney General Claudette Joseph says Faith Organization is responsible for paying its employees, not the government. In around the globe regionally, St. Lucia's Education Minister stands by school closure decision. Internationally, Bank of England monitors markets very closely after the pound plunges. Plus in the sports news, Barbados Royals secure first spot in Hero CPL final. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast after the CPL. Continue to follow us online, gbn.gd, or on GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I'm Kenroy, Baptiste, and all of us in the newsroom, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.